everyone, my name is Nikki. We are here today with Colleen and Andrea. We are going to work a little bit through some intentional movement. So you'll need one block and one strap. If you don't have a block, you can use a water bottle, you can use anything that just has a little bit of height on it. What we're going to talk about primarily today is just kind of moving with some intention. So especially in vinyasa classes, we tend to move and breathe and quickly kind of go through it all. And we're just going to break it down a little bit more today so that we can just kind of feel what's happening in each pose and each variation. So we're going to start by opening a little bit into the side bodies and into the shoulder. So I'm going to have you sit on a block to get us started here. All right. So I just want you to inhale your right arm up to the sky and just bend your right elbow. So I want you to take the elbow up to the sky so that the hand goes to the small of your back. Yeah. So just for a moment, I want you to resist your head kind of back into your forearm a little bit and just breathe down the right side of your body, okay? Then I want you to take an inhale and take your left hand to the small of your back. So pause for just a moment here. So you're creating a little bit of space down the right side of the body and a little bit of space in the front of the left shoulder here. Just stay for a breath in. So the option here is to keep the left hand where it's at, or the option is to start to take the left hand a little closer to the right fingertip. So I'm going to have Colleen stay where she's at just to kind of breathe through this. Andrea, kind of shimmy your little fingers up there to catch to the right side if that feels okay. Stay here for just another breath in. Try to soften the rib cage a little bit. Start to engage that navel energy. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, just slowly let go of the left hand first. Good. And then slowly let go of the right hand. Sit up nice and tall. Kind of wiggle the shoulders out a bit. And we'll try the other side. Inhale your left arm up and bend right at your left elbow. And then just pause for a moment and kind of resist the head back into the forearm. Create a little space in the left side of the body. Good. Take a breath in. And then exhale the right hand to the small of the back. And just pause, kind of see how that feels. And notice how your front ribs kind of puff out a little bit. See if you can draw them back just a little bit to engage low belly. Stay for one more breath in. An option, stay there, or option, bend the right elbow just a little bit so that those fingers hook. And you're going to notice a little difference between sides. One side's going to be a little easier than the other, and that's normal, just noticing. Go ahead, take a breath in. Exhale your right hand first. And then your left arm. And then wiggle and take a breath in. And exhale. You're just going to come up off that block. You're going to come to a tabletop position. So hands are going to stay right under the shoulders. Knees are going to stay right under the hips. And I want you to just organically move around a little bit. So you can cat-cow here. You can take it back to child's pose. As we kind of move a bit intentionally, a little more intentional than sometimes we tend to in yoga. I want you to first kind of draw into how you're feeling today, how the spine is feeling, how the neck, the jaw, the hips, just kind of tuning in to those little bitty details of the body chatting. You just got to listen up sometimes, yeah? All right, and when you're ready, there's no rush. Walk the hands out just a few inches, curl your toes under, lift your hips up, and set your first downward facing dog. So again, a little bit of organic movement here. You can rock to the tiptoes, rock to the heels, sway your hips. So sometimes in these vinyasa flow classes, we're just moving and breathing and moving and breathing, and we don't take that extra moment to really feel what's going on, to really dig a little deeper. So that's what the class is going to be today. I'm going to start here in a still downward facing dog. Just start to settle into the space. Beautiful. And then bring your big toes to touch. Take an inhale, look up at your hands and step, top of the mat. Fingertips to shin bones as you inhale, lengthen halfway. And exhale, bow to release. Again, inhale, halfway, lift, flat back. And exhale, bow, letting the brain drop. One more time, inhale, just creating a little bit of space. And exhale. Head is heavy, hands are heavy. Let your head be the last thing to lift as you come up one vertebra at a time. Beautiful. So rolling the shoulders a couple times, creating some space across the front of the body. And then when you're ready, bring your hands to heart center. Look down, make sure your big toes are touching, put a little space between your heels. We're going to work through 3 rounds of Sun Salutation A just to link a little breath to movement. As you pause here for just a moment standing tall before we start moving, I want you to find the cadence of breath. Deep inhalations and deep exhalations. Maybe to a count of 3, maybe even 4. As we move through counting just the first couple flows together. Are you ready, girls? Inhale, reach your arms all the way up for 2, 3, 4, and exhale, bow forward, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, lengthen, 2, 3, 4, and exhale to plank, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, shift the weight forward, and exhale all the way down. You're going to come up for cobra on the inhale, pulling the heart space through, and exhale to float down. Easy breath, curl the toes to plank. Inhale, and exhale, downward facing dog. Couple breaths here, hips high, heels heavy. Start to feel the legs fire up, the hamstrings, the calves. Beautiful. Big toes to touch. Please inhale, look up, rise the balls of your feet, bend your knees, step or flow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, stand up, slowly stretch up, reach up. Exhale, pull it to your heart. 2 more like that. Inhale, all the way up. And exhale, flow forward all the way down. Inhale, lengthen, creating a little bit of space, and exhale, step to plank. Inhale, shift the weight. Exhale, slow descent to your belly. Second cobra, inhale, just warming up the back here, and exhale, float down, curl the toes, inhale to plank, and exhale, downward facing dog. Feet are hip distance apart. Strong in the legs here, right? Use those strong legs, feel the kneecaps lift up. Beautiful. Big toes to touch. Please inhale, look up, because that's where your feet are going to land. Exhale, step or flow. Inhale, lengthening out. Exhale, bowing in. And inhale, reaching for the sky. And exhale, Anjali Mudra. One more, just like that. Inhale, arms up, stretch up. And exhale, fold forward, hinging right at the hips. Inhale, lengthening the spine, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, stepping to plank pose. Inhale, shifting the weight, easy breath. Exhale all the way to the belly. Just one more cobra here. Inhale, pulling the heart through. Exhale to float down and curl your toes. Inhale, strong belly plank, and exhale, hips up, downward facing dog. So feet are set, strong in the hands, strong in the arms. We'll talk about this a little bit more as we flow through, but as the triceps wrap into the midline, good Colleen, the shoulder blades are going to draw down your back. It's like a little ski slope that we talk about sometimes, creating the same diagonal on the front of the body as the back of the body. So bring your big toes to touch. Please inhale, look up. Please exhale, step or float. Inhale, lengthen out. And exhale, bow it in. Bend the knees for me this time. Reach your arms up for chair pose. Okay. So in chair, again, triceps wrap into the midline, shoulder blades draw down the back body. So the neck frees up, the jaw frees up. The weight goes into the heels so that those toes fluff up off the mat, creating a little bit of heat in the legs for the next flow here. Take a breath in and bow forward, breath out. Now this time, inhale, lengthen, breath in, and you get to pick step or float right through that vinyasa. Big breath into your first upward facing and exhale, downward facing dog. Please inhale your right leg and just pause for a moment. Okay? So this intentional lift that sometimes we just flow through really quick. You're going to lift through the inner right thigh. And you can reach through the heel or the ball of the foot or whatever works for you. I just want you to get that leg fired up. Okay? Take an inhale. And take an exhale, draw it all the way through low lunge. Back knee goes flat. Inhale, arms up for Anjaneyasana. Pause. So there's a slight pin back of your right hip. There's a slight lift of your belly. And then you drop into the pelvis to create some space in that left hip flexor psoas. Okay? Your jaw is soft, your breath is easy, opening up the front of your body, the sides of your body. Good. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands down, back knee up. Slide the right leg to plank pose, right through that chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Beautiful. And exhale, please, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up, pause. So every time a limb comes up off the ground, I want you to just stretch through it like crazy town here, whether it's your arm or your leg, whatever it is. Create a little space, a little intention there. Take an inhale. Exhale to draw through, back knee flat down. Inhale, arms up, Anjaneyasana. Good. So easy couple breaths here at the beginning. We'll get into a little bit of twisting here in just a moment. Belly in, left hip pulls back. Take a breath. And exhale, hands down, back knee up. Slide the left leg for plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Beautiful, downward facing dog. Pause and downward facing dog. Strong in the arms, the legs. Hips are high, heels are heavy. Good. The second round here, please inhale the right leg back up. This time exhale, pull through. Back knee down. Inhale, arms up. So this time I want you to interlace your hands at the back of your skull. I want you to draw your elbows up to the sky. Good. Take a breath in. So your head is being hammocked by your hands. And then exhale, just a little bit of a back bend here as you start to, again, create some space in the left hip flexor psoas, as well as the front body, side body. Beautiful. Stay for a breath in. Stay for a breath out. Inhale fully. Exhale, hands release to the ground. Back knee lifts up, plank pose. Right into that chaturanga. Big breath, inhale. Big breath, exhale. Left leg, inhale. Exhale, pull through. Back knee down. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, hands behind. Good, interlace. So just like hammock, your head just gets to be kind of heavy and free. The elbows draw up to the sky. Good. So you're creating some space in the side bodies as well as a little bit of space in the upper back. Beautiful. Jaws released. Take a breath in. Exhale, easy breath. Hands down, back knee up, plank pose. Chaturanga. Whew. Big inhale and big exhale. Good. Stay for a breath in. Then stay for a breath out. Third set, last set. Here we go. Please inhale your right leg up. And please exhale, pull it all the way through. This time, keep your back knee up. Take your left hand to the inside of your right foot. And then reach your right arm all the way up to twist. So just prepping the spine a little bit here. So I want you to think about the right side of the rib cage turning up to the sky. The right hand is reaching back like you just want to sunburst your heart right open. Beautiful. A little more bend in that front leg. Take a breath in. Hands down, breath out, slide it to plank pose. Beautiful. All the way through your chaturanga. Inhale up, girls. Nice work. Exhale, downward facing. Left leg, inhale with intention. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale to draw through. Back knee stays up. Right hand to the inside of the foot. Left arm. Beautiful. So I want you to think, can I draw my left side of the rib cage back? Can I pin my left hip back? And can I sunburst my heart wide open? Good. Breathe into the twist. Let your jaw be free. Take an inhale. Hands down, exhale, back, legs scoops all the way back to plank chaturanga. Inhale, take it up. And exhale, take it back. Beautiful. Just one reset breath in. And one reset breath out. Big toes to touch. Look up, breath in. Exhale, step or float, breath out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Bend your knees. Reach your arms up, chair pose, please. Good. Stay for a breath. Fill up. Good. And on the exhale, you're just going to stand right up out of it, hands by your side. Shake it out. Feeling all right? A little warm in here. All right. We're going to move into a few warrior postures that are very familiar. We're just going to spend a little bit of extra time kind of breathing through them, kind of fine-tuning them a little bit. Okay? Bring your hands to your heart, please. Inhale, reach for the sky, arms up. And exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, yogi's choice. Step through it, float through it, Chaturanga. Up dog or cobra, always a choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. So here we go. Please inhale your right leg up. And please exhale all the way through for warrior one. Back heel goes flat. Inhale, arms up. Pause. So this one is one we don't always spend a lot of time in. So instead of force kind of pulling the right hip back, I just want you to think it's just a little pin back. It's just a soft touch, just to start to work the hips towards neutral. Now the outer back foot is really reaching down here so that that left leg stays active and strong for us. Again, pinky edges draw in, shoulder blades draw down. So that if you look left to right real quick, girls, there's nothing going on in your neck. There's no tension in the jaw, the shoulders, gone. Okay. So if it's a little too much, if your hips feel a little bit of torque here, I'm going to have Andrea step her left foot out to the left about 2 inches. Yep. So it's a little bit easier to pin the right hip back with that left foot out a little bit. And that's always an option if you want. Eventually, how Colleen is, the right heel and the left heel line up like they were on a tightrope together. Okay? Stay for one more breath in. Just feel the right quad start chatting, yeah? And exhale, open up please to warrior two. Okay. Now in this one, you want to fix the feet so that the right heel is in a tightrope with the left inner arch. It's going to put the hips in a position that allows a little bit more space, especially in the right hip. Okay. Now the tops of the shoulders might start chatting with you. So to release them, I want you to flip both palms up and I want you to bend the elbows a little bit. Yeah. And just reset the shoulder blades. Just draw them down the back. Let the neck be free. So the option always is to take this little break with the shoulders, or we can stretch them back out. Okay. Now pause here. Eventually, that right knee is going to stack right over the right ankle so that if you look down the foot, you can see the big toe still, right? So instead of shying away from the right quad, which you kind of want to do right now, I want you to see if you can just lean into that sensation of sensation, right? Take a breath in. Hands to your hips and just straighten the right leg for me. Ooh. Pause, put a smile on your face. All right. When you're ready, please reach your arms back out. Rebend into your right knee. So for the reverse warrior, your legs don't change at all. They're going to stay just like this. I just want you to inhale, flip the front hand, and reach up, reach back, look back. So what we're trying to do is create a little bit of space in the right side body, but that right knee still stays generously bent. We're almost done here, right? So I want you to notice what you start to do when you meet that resistance. Do you take an extra breath? Do you stay committed? Right? That's what we're trying to train the body on. Take an inhale, please. Exhale, extended side angle. Your forearm's going to come to your thigh, and your left arm's going to reach straight over your head. There you go. So that left bicep is by your left ear. Again, left side of the body, stretch it out, press into the outer left foot. Just breathe, feel, sensation, all that good stuff that comes up. Take a breath in. Hands down, touch down, please. Whew. Right leg, inhale it up. 3-legged dog, and then bend your knee and hinge your hip because it just feels good. Breathe into the right hip flexor, psoas. Good. Keep your shoulders squared off for me. So drop your right. There you go, Colleen. Good. And then inhale, 3-legged dog. Stretch it out. Exhale, plank to chaturanga. Easy flow through. Good. Inhale, upward facing. Just helps to clear the front of the body. And exhale, downward facing. So pause in downward facing. I want you to just notice a difference between the right side and the left side. So sometimes no intention to like change or torque anything, but just noticing is a big part of what we do here on our mat, okay? Here we go. Please inhale your left leg up. Exhale to draw through. We're going into warrior one. Back heel flat. Sink into the hips as you add the arms all the way up. Okay. So here we go now on the opposite side. Okay. Andrea, take your feet out just a few inches like you did on the first one. Yeah. And then just notice, right? We're not trying to torque. We're just trying to pin the left hip back as the right hip starts to move forward. So we're working towards neutral position with the hips in warrior one. Okay? The navel energy is drawing in a bit as the tailbone draws down. The front rib cage knits in. We talked about that a little bit at the beginning of the video. Good. And then you're strong in the arms, strong in the breath. So sometimes when we start to get a little challenged, when it starts to get a little bit much, we start to hold the breath in. And I want you to really focus back on that cadence of inhalations 3 or 4 counts in, and exhale 3 or 4 counts out. You got it, girls. Take a breath in, fill up. Exhale, open to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So here we get to break our shoulders a bit. Bend the elbows. It's like a little Egyptian goddess goodness. And I just want you to just let that soften the upper back. Let that soften the shoulders. Okay? Stretch your arms back out. Draw the low belly in. Bend the left knee so that it stacks right over the left ankle. Okay? So again, you're going to find yourself. It's that resistance. You come right up to it, and then what do you do with it? And you find something to soften the jaw, the gaze, the thoughts. Okay? Dig into the strength that you have inside of you. You just got to kind of dig for it sometimes. It's there. Take a breath in, please. Take your hands to your hips and straighten your front leg. Whoo. You're welcome. You're welcome for that. Take a breath in. You got it. Exhale, arms back out. Rebend the front knee. Inhale, flip the front hand and reverse. Left side body stretches out. Breathe into every single one of the spaces between the rib cage here. Good. Take an inhale. One more breath, inhale. An extended side angle. Just rest your forearm on your thigh. Reach your right arm all the way up and over. So because a little bit more of the weight comes forward in this pose, we're normally able to get just another inch or so into that front bend of that left leg on this side. Breathing into the right side all the way down to the outer right foot. Okay? Drawing that left sit bone underneath of you just a little bit to open up the left hip. Take another breath in. You got it. Exhale, hands down. Whew. Left leg, sweep it all the way up. So you're clearing the hip flexor, and then you're going to bend the knee, hinge the hip open. So the tendency, right, is to want to kind of like open the whole body, but instead I want you to keep the shoulders squared off, like you were in downward facing dog. There you go. Inhale, stretch it back out. Plank to Chaturanga, easy flow through. Big breath, inhale. Big breath, exhale. Now notice in downward facing dog that I hope, if I did my job right, both sides feel the same. So you feel that same sensation on the left side as you did a few moments ago on the right side. Take a breath in, please fill up. Embryo pose, knees down, arms back, rest. So I like this, especially when we've asked a little bit from the shoulders, because this is just a release, okay? It just allows the front shoulder to be heavy. It allows the hips to take a break. It allows yourself to kind of reconnect with your breath in and out. Just another cycle in and out. Slowly coming back up. Okay. So what I'm going to have you do, that strap that I asked you for at the very beginning of class, you're going to strap up so that it's the distance from shoulder to shoulder. So I've already prepped this a little bit for the girls, and you can adjust kind of if that feels a little bit too tight or a little bit too loose, you can adjust the buckle. So you're going to place it right above your elbows, but please don't put the buckle on your skin. Okay. So find what feels okay. So that if you come into this position like Andrea is, you can resist your triceps into the strap. What we're trying to do here in this one is create a little bit of shoulder mobility, right? We're going to lock those shoulders in. Okay? So keep your hands just like that. Okay. Now all I want you to do is curl your toes and lift your hips up. So you're going to be in like a half down dog, half forward fold. We're going to switch that up so that we are in a handstand prep. Are you ready? Your left foot comes halfway up the mat. Your right foot stretches all the way up. So pause. So sometimes in handstand, this is the one where we just kind of get hopping and get moving and we just like want to get our legs up. We're going to not do that today. So as we talked about earlier, that right leg extends out. You're lifting through the right inner thigh, okay? Now resist your triceps into the strap. Shoulders are right over. See how their shoulders are right over their wrists. Keep all that. Invite your belly to the party. Lift your left heel. And just pause. So the right leg reaches back, the belly is fired up, that heel is really high, the gaze is right in between your thumbs, take a breath, right foot down. Whoo, just fold for a moment and walk the hands back or the feet up, whatever works. Just fold here. You can let the strap be loose for a second, right? So moving with a little bit more intention, you notice how much more work that is when you're really trying to fire things on purpose, right? Paying attention to what's happening, there's a little bit more work. It's a little bit more involvement, okay? We try the other side. Okay, start to walk your arms back out. Okay, resist the triceps into the strap. Your right foot this time is stepping halfway up, and your left foot is lifting. Pause. So the reason I say lift through your left inner thigh is because sometimes, I'm going to show Colleen, sometimes the hip opens up, right? And then your whole spine kind of gets torqued. So if you close that off so that your hips are in a neutral position, it creates a more effective spine position for your handstands. Lift your belly, lift your heel. Lift your belly, breathe, find your breath, lift your heel. Lift your left leg, lift your belly. Take an inhale. Exhale, it's over. Whoo! Just give it a moment, give it a moment, give it a moment. Whoo! All right. So slowly just let the strap come off the hands. Strap goes off to the side. Good. And I just want you to step through a vinyasa. So walk your hands up, feet back, plank pose. And just flow right through Chaturanga. Open heart, lifting, upward facing. Beautiful, downward facing dog. So hit a little reset button. Take a breath in. And take a breath out. And drop your knees for me. And this time you're going to grab your block. So a couple different ways that you can play with the block. There's a lot of different ways. We're not going to go into all of them. We'd be here all afternoon. So one way is Andrea, she's going to take her index fingers, right, so that they hug the midline right in, okay? So the thumbs kind of on their little natural diagonal. Now I'm going to have Colleen karate chop the block so that the outside of the hands press down. And you're just going to pick a variation that works for you. There's a lot of different types of variations. Just pick one that works. Look at your forearms. Make sure they're parallel. And then check out that your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Okay? Once you have all that, curl your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips for dolphin pose. So the first dolphin, we're not going to do anything fancy. I just want you to breathe and feel and kind of see what's going on. What the action here is in the forearms is if the forearms, we're just going to break the top of your mat away. So all the strength comes into the forearms as the heart comes back towards the top of your thighs. And there's no balance happening here, so you can let your neck release and let your head release. Similar to downward facing dog, your hips are high and your heels are heavy. It should feel like a lot of work for the front shoulder. It should feel like a lot of space is opening for the side bodies for the lats. Take a breath in. Embryo pose, knees down. Arms back and rest. So this is probably the only time you're going to hear your yoga teacher say, let your traps creep up by your ears. We don't say that very often, but in embryo pose, it just feels good. It allows the front shoulders to just relax. Okay, stay for a breath in, please. And exhale, start to lift your head and walk your hands back out. So we're going to take the same placement that you did for the first round we just did, except now we're just going to lift intentionally through that lifted leg. We're going to start with the right leg. So go ahead and prep your dolphin. Curl your toes, lift your hips, and then inhale just your right leg up. Okay, lifting through your right inner thigh, invite your belly, and then lift your left heel. Okay. So anytime we lift something, one of the limbs up off the mat, there's a little bit of balance that we need to kind of hone back in on. So with no intention to hop or do anything like that, just noticing, can we lift the foot a little higher? Can we scoop the belly a little bit more? Inhale. Exhale, right foot down. Pause. Good. One more side. 3 more breaths. Left leg inhales up. Good. Inner left thigh lifts. Belly engages. Heart is still reaching back, this time just to the right thigh now because there's not 2 thighs to reach back to. Right heel lifts. Inhale. Whoo. Left foot down, knees down, embryo pose. Nice work. Pause. So these become very important, these little breaks that sometimes don't always feel necessary at the beginning, but towards the end of class, towards the end of your practice, they become sweeter and sweeter. Stay for a breath in. And stay for a breath out. And slowly come back up. Okay. So I'm going to have Colleen stay with just lifting her leg in this variation. I'm going to have Andrea take just a couple hops up. We're not looking necessarily to hold and be there forever, okay? We're just noticing. We're just seeing what happens when we start to hop up a little bit, okay? So we're going to do this one. We'll go back to handstand and we'll wrap it up, okay? Here we go. Curl those toes. Lift your hips up. Beautiful. Inhale your right leg up. Okay. Now, because Andrea is going to come up off the ground with her left foot, she's going to change her gaze a bit so that it's either in between her forearms or her elbows. Both lift that left heel up. Good. And then Andrea, just a couple hops. Up and back down. That's all. That's all we're looking for today. A little hop up. Yep. And back down. One more inhale. Good. And back down. Easy breath as you drop your right foot. Inhale your left leg up. Okay. Colleen, you doing okay over there? Okay, Andrea, ready? Couple hops up and down. So you're just coming like 3, 4, 6 inches off the ground just to kind of feel what that's like, okay? One more. And then both feet down, knees down, embryo pose, rest. An embryo pose is just my choice of resting pose. If something else feels good to you, or if you're thinking, hey, when I do this, it feels a lot better than that, you are absolutely more than welcome to it. It's just a suggestion, okay? Stay for an inhale, let the shoulders be heavy, and stay for an exhale. And slowly come back up. So the blocks are gonna come off. For our last little hoorah, we're gonna put these straps back on. You're welcome. All right, so I'm going to have Andrea stay in just the lifted leg position this time, and then Colleen's going to take just a couple hops off the ground, okay? So you're going to set yourself up, hands right underneath your shoulders, gaze in between your thumbs, curl your toes, lift your hips. Okay, so stack shoulders right over wrists. Okay, right foot comes halfway up, left foot lifts. Okay, so everyone's going to lift the belly and lift the right heel. Okay, you're going to stay there, Andrea. Ready, Colleen? Just going to lift the right heel, bend the right knee just a few inches up, and back down. Easy, okay? Take another breath in and out. One more. And out. Good. Both feet down on the ground. Whoo, switch so that your right foot lifts up. Your left foot's halfway up your mat. Shoulders over wrists. Scoop your belly. Lift your left heel. Take a breath in. Exhale. Couple inches up. Couple inches down. Beautiful. Couple inches up. And couple inches down. One more. Easy breath. Beautiful. Both feet down. And this time just bend your knees. Sit back on your heels and just rest. Whew. Slide that strap off. Feel okay? It's a little bit more difficult when we move a little bit more intentionally, huh? Okay, so I want you to take your hands behind your back, interlace them, and just open up your chest. Good. Take an inhale for me. And an exhale. Good. Slowly release your fingers. Take your hands down and cross your ankles. Find your bum. Take your legs out. So flex the toes back. Find your sit bones. Reach your arms up. Inhale, just taking the spine in the opposite direction. Exhale up and over. So the opposite direction of sometimes when we move into forearm or handstands. Good. And just letting the hamstrings fire at the same time here, letting the upper back find a little bit of length. Take one more breath in. And exhale, slowly come up. Reach your arms all the way up for me. And exhale, we're going to twist to our right. Beautiful. Take your left hand to that thigh or the knee, right? And think, can I inhale my spine a little bit higher, a little bit taller, a little bit more full, and I exhale, my right shoulder blade draws back just a little bit. So that it's this constant inhalation to find length, exhalation to find a deeper twist. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, reach your arms back up, stretch up all the way up. Exhale to your left. And good. So again, just a couple, not forcing, just noticing. Noticing if you can find a little bit more space. A little bit deeper breath here. Soften the jaw. Take an inhale. And an exhale. Good. Inhale. Come all the way back to center. Take your hands to your heart. Exhale. Nice work. You okay? You okay? Thank you so much for joining us today, moving intentionally, taking it a little bit slower. We'll see you next time.